Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for August 6th, 2024. It's actually my birthday, well, in an hour. So thanks for joining me on my birthday stream here. We're going to do a fantasy football mock draft, PPR 12 team. Before we intro the guests, I'm going to say please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that will be appreciated. And here it is, the merch store. Based on the Bucker contract we had today, I'm kind of motivated to do the Butker apron again. Our Butker apron got deleted here. I don't know if you guys heard this news, but I'm going to try to get it back. But in the meantime, you can get any of these shirts. We have a lot of shirts on here, including we have this money laundering shirt that I'm wearing right now. Also, August is Gluttony Month. It is August, so you can tell everyone how much of a glutton you are and reveal that glutton rights are human rights. Very important message to spread out there. So, for actually it's reduced now, $17.25. It was $19 on Saturday. Now it's $17 for a high quality shirt. I think it's a really good price. So that's a way to support the show. Also, super chats, super stickers. You guys have been so gracious with your contributions recently. Slew, John Sanders, Germ, Degeneron, Kevin Kovac. You guys have been so awesome, especially Slew, John Sanders, and Germ recently. I can't stress that enough. We make nothing on these YouTube ads. So any contributions from these super chats, super stickers, they go a long way in helping support the show. Also, you can go to Amazon and buy my book. It's called Jerks of the College Years. If you like Jerks of the Week, which is a section on the site where I make fun of people I see around like the neighborhood or the gym, this is basically the same thing, but for my 6 years at Penn State. As you can see on the cover here, I have ran into a lot of weird people at Penn State. So $13.99 here on Amazon, Jerks of the College Years. If you like Jerks of the Week or any type of humor, I think you guys will like this. So without further ado, let's intro the guests and then get into our mock draft. And we'll be ranting about some stuff along the way as well. Joined by, let's go top to bottom here, Alex Butters. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good. We got a storm kind of going through, so hopefully I don't get kicked out and then I go auto draft, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, the first time we did a mock draft together last year, I got kicked out of the room. So we'll be 2 for 3 and someone auto drafting if that happens. Also joined by Nuggets. Nuggets, how's it going?
It's going great. Things are going really well. I'm kind of sweating a huge parlay here as I bet a bunch of cats. The DraftKings has that new bet 2 guys to hit a home run, and right now I've got 3 out of 6. So now I need either Ohtani to hit one or Trey Turner. I need Rooker or Des Cameron to hit one. And I forget the last one. But point is, I'm like 3 for 6, and I only did the round robin for 3, so I'm already getting paid. So it's been a good day. Can't complain.
Nice. I have Ohtani, Rooker, and Cameron in my lineup right now. That's actually 21st in the night slate. So hopefully it's a birthday present for you.
Ship that, mofo.
I know that'd be awesome. All right, so we're going to be on Fantasy Football Calculator here. As soon as a 12 room opens up, I guess we could do this one, but I feel like just giving ourselves like 8 minutes for people to jump in. I think that's the best.
Hey, Oscar just hit a bomb.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I moved from 21st to 116th. So
sorry.
Oh well, so much for that birthday win. So much for that birthday win. So as soon as a 12 teamer opens up here, we're gonna jump in. And we'll do a fantasy football mock draft as usual and discuss our picks, and we will be ranting about stuff. We already have one topic ready to go that we all care very deeply about. That's it's been removed from us. You guys probably know what that is. If you guys have listened to my show all last week, you definitely know what that is. We could talk about it now while we wait, and I'll just interrupt when a room opens up. But we were talking about Raymakers being removed, and in fairness, the compensation package that we got from them was good. I haven't heard anyone complain about it except for like one guy on Twitter. But for the most part, I haven't heard any complaints about it. Okay, here we go. Room 1505-6698. That is where we're going to jump in right now. I'm going to take the 11th spot, and I'm going to tweet this out. I'm choosing number 11 because I have a paid league coming up at PPR, and I'm drafting 11th there. So, all right, let's. I'm going to tweet this out. But okay, so Nuggets, I know you had a lot to say about the Raymakers. So while I tweet this out, do you want to start talking about that?
Yeah,
well, we had 6 minutes ago.
We do. I just jumped in myself.
I remember here.
I understand it, but I hate it at the same time. Like, I kind of wish we were apprised of. I mean, because they were served with this back in May, the lawsuit, right? So for me, continuing invested money that's questionably could disrupt everything was a bit of a problem for me. Did they pay out fair? Yes. Did they pay out the lawsuits? Yes. Yeah, I am in the situation room. Basically, it is the Nuggets situation room where I want to blow up the planet of Alderaan. Because I hate the rebels. But that's a whole other story. We won't get into that. And if you get that reference, I will ship you $50. Anyway, the whole point is when I look at it, I think Raymakers is great. I thought it was a good product, but like just up and quitting in the middle of like the playoff when you invested a ton of money in the playoff FedEx packs, I think is a bit of a cop out. Especially when I was gearing up for NFL, I thought, oh, I'll try NFL this year. Cool. But, and that gets screwed over, right? And not to get your full buy-ins back for that is a bit problematic. Did they compensate me? Well, enough where I'm not like bitching and moaning. Like if they gave me like 10 cents on the dollar, I'd be pissed. But they basically refunded all my FedEx packs, so I can't complain. But I just think that they could have done something better. Oh shit, Cassandra. Yeah, well, damn.
I thought people would get that for sure.
Well, I mean, I guess I have to. Cassandra, find me a way to. I will be more than happy to send you $50 via PayPal or Venmo or whatever you prefer. Am I allowed to? Can she DM us? Is that possible?
Or your Nuggets DFS on Twitter.
Yeah, just hit me up on Twitter. My bad. Sorry, I'll open it up for DMs. My bad.
No, I completely agree with the timing of it. It kind of sucks. At the same time, if they canceled it for everything but the playoffs, and they're like, well, we're just going to do the FedEx Cup playoffs, and then that's it. Like there would be massive selling of these cards, and I think that would have destroyed the economy. But the timing of it, you're right. So yeah, they did get served this a couple months earlier, but they got the motion to dismiss on July 2nd, and it was until July 29th that they waited on canceling it. So they had 27 days where they're promoting it, and they even had an announcement that they're going to do Olympic
3 hours prior. Yeah, they're like we're gonna have pack openings and shit. And I'm like, cool, that's great. And I even won these FedEx like tickets for the pack openings, and then I show up and like, oh, we don't have those anymore. I even told Butters this. I'm like, dude, like, I have all these tickets for freaking. All right, Cassandra, you want me to keep it invested in some sort? All right, we'll go have these on something, on some home run props or some shit. Just remind me in the future when I hit for something big, I owe you $50 plus the VIG. So
nice. Yeah, it really sucks. Like I've said this on the show, it turned into my like favorite hobby, really. And
yes, it did.
I every morning when I'd wake up and just walk the dogs, and then I'd sit down on my laptop and start eating breakfast. I'd look at the market and just look for deals and like try to make offers, and that was so fun. And just building a collection and building lineups that was the best. Now it did suck to drive to Trenton every week, but I won't have to do that anymore. That's a plus, but it's just such a bummer that it's over. And yeah, the compensation was fair. It could have been better. I agree. Like could have been slightly better. But it was enough for me to like not complain. I guess that was their goal. So it just, it really sucks. I hope someone else does it. I kept like I texted Kenny like 4 times, like we should do our own Raymakers, and then like after the 4th time, he's like, that would be a difficult undertaking.
I thought there was another company that did it, and I can't remember what the name of that one was called.
What, Top Shot?
Top Shot.
I
But they
think that's
didn't
what it was,
they didn't
yeah.
have like they didn't have guaranteed prizing for contests though. That was
Exactly.
they just
No.
did NFTs. Whereas like DraftKings did the guaranteed prizing, which made this completely different. So it was legit. It wasn't some sort of scam where you could get rug pulled. You know, they had the guaranteed money.
We need one more, so I don't have to deal with a computer.
Yeah. I like Team 8's name, by the way.
Now it's cool. Great.
There you go. John Tron joined. Team 8's name, B-Day, 8 equals D. You could let you guys know, figure out what that means for Walt. So it's cool that I'm drafting right next to that person. I wonder who that is. But yeah, we are set to start in 2 minutes. Nuggets, you are drafting 2nd, and Butters drafting 5th. Is there any reason behind your number preference here, or was it just random?
Just random for me.
Okay.
Like I just grabbed what I could because I think Walter's daddy needs to get spanked.
Yeah, I was trying to hit it random, and then I saw that like 6 of them filled right away. I was like, I'm just gonna pick a number, and I took 5.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I have the 11th pick in this PPR league I'm in. Actually, we get to choose our order, and no one's picked 11th yet, and I think I'm up next or one after. So I'm picking 11th. I drafted 2nd in our first mock draft on Thursday. I had severe issues at 211 and also 302. Like by the time I was on the clock at 211, I didn't like anyone there. I was like, man, this is brutal. I usually pass on the quarterbacks. And when I kind of look back on what I did, I'm like, man, I should have taken a quarterback there. And I'm one who never drafts quarterback early, but the players, all the players who drafted in the 3rd round, except for like 2 of them, I'm like, man, I could see myself getting them in the 4th round, maybe 5th round, but 3rd round, like, it seems like such a reach. So I think there's kind of like a dead zone here, and I wonder if it's gonna be the same for PPR, but it's definitely there for standard.
I mean, I'm seeing like Allen and Hurts being QB 1 and 2 in PPR, which to me makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I losing it or?
Are we missing anyone from like we did last year?
Like I'm thinking like Lamar Jackson, or I'm thinking like Mahomes. Am I crazy?
I had Mahomes is my number 1 quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing off of your thing. Like, because that makes sense, but like you're telling me Allen and Hurts in a PPR league, it didn't make sense to me. For 1, 2, like Allen definitely number 2, right? But like, but like Hurts and then CJ Stroud, I get, but like you're telling me you're going over all those guys for him, and then I look at CJ Stroud's strength of schedule and the way that the Texans line up at the end of the year. I don't like CJ Stroud. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I like Stroud. I like his sporting cast. We are underway. Make sure you hit high drafted players and also play alert notifications so you know when you're on the clock, because you only get 45 seconds here. So if you miss like 20 seconds, you might be like panicking and not kind of realizing.
Screwed.
Yeah, and if you miss your pick, then you go into Nuggets. You're on the clock, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And I'm actually debating between Brees Hall. I can't trust. Bijan. They have the easiest strength of schedule, but I like Gibbs the most. I like Gibbs, so I want to go with Gibbs. So give me Gibbs now. Damn it! I'm hitting draft player and it won't let me draft.
It went through. I see it went through.
All right, thank goodness. There we go.
There we go. Gibbs
I like
and then
Detroit a lot this year.
Yeah, so do I. I've been betting. I'm looking for a better number than 12-1, which is I feel like the consensus out there for their futures.
Did you see his tweet about
Butters up? Yeah, Butters up. Where he wants 1,000 receiving yards.
Both 1,000 receiving and rushing.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Rouse said straight up, like, you get that, I'll buy you a house. I'm like, if I'm Gibbs, I'm like, I I gotta get the house, right? Like,
Did he specify what kind of house though? It could be like one of these rundown
no.
shacks.
He said, "I'll buy you anything you want." And
Oh,
Gibbs said, "I
wow.
want a house."
Okay. What if he's like buys a castle or something? I don't know.
Hey, Gibbs. I mean, Amarad's got that money.
Yeah, he does. That's true. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know if he can quite get to 1,000 receiving yards, but like he could. He's that talented. I don't mind him at all at number 2. I think that I had him as my 3rd player. And Brees Hall just went. Butters, you want to talk about Brees Hall? You took him at 5.
Well, you could be kind of talking him up, but I was wanting to pick Tyreek or CD. I was hoping he was going to land the 5. Didn't happen. That's kind of another reason why I thought of number 5 is like maybe I can steal them if someone else wants to pick them, but didn't get to that point. I mean, I was considering Jamar Chase, but I figured that with wide receivers, I mean, when I'm at this point, I'd rather just pick consistency. And I think it was you that said that Aaron Rodgers is always any running back that's been under Aaron Rodgers is always produced. So I'm just going to go with that route.
Yeah, check down, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the Jets or Miami are going to win the division. The question is Aaron Rodgers
Buffalo.
like? No, Buffalo. Buffalo sucks.
Wow.
Buffalo win shit this year.
That is strong.
I would be surprised if Buffalo isn't the 4th team in the division.
Wow.
Name a wide receiver
over New England.
Name a wide receiver better than anybody. I mean, like they don't have Stephon Diggs. They don't have. They lost. What's his name? The other running back. I forget his name now. Damn it. Fine. They'll finish either 3rd or 4th, but they're not competing with Miami, and they're not competing with the Jets. If Rodgers is healthy, if Rodgers is afraid of himself, like it's Miami's division to lose.
Phew, man, I don't know, man. I like Buffalo a lot. I think they have the upside. They got Matt Milano back from injury this year. They had so many injuries last year.
And then he's glass man. He'll be dead in week 3.
That's fair. But I don't know. I think they have some upside. I think the other 2 teams have issues as well. Like the Jets have so many injury-prone players.
Oh yes, but their defense is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the Dolphins, like all their entire front seven's injured. Like they don't. Like they're not going to have any sort of pass rush. They're gonna be in some like 49, 42 games this year. It's gonna be insane.
Yes, and I will pick them every week.
Okay.
Because I think that their offense is ridiculous. Give me Tua, Shane, and Tyreek every week. I don't care what it costs. And then I'll run it back with the opposing team because they suck at defense. And I will win a milli.
I just got sniped twice by Jefferson and Brown.
Yes, you did. I saw that.
I am going to take Josh Jacobs. I don't know why he's going so late.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick if he came back around.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Josh Jacobs this year. I see him going later. I don't get it. I think he's super talented, and this like he's going to have an upgrade on the offensive line. And then Kyron Williams is my other pick. If he stays healthy, I know it's a big if, but if he stays healthy, like his potential's through the roof.
There was something about him and Blake Corum in the same room, and Kyron said straight up like he's that dude. Like it was like Kyron's literally looking over his shoulder. So if Kyron's hurt, Blake could be the dude.
Yeah,
Blake's the 3rd down back. They specifically said that. But I mean, look at all the injuries LA had last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Akers, then they have Michelle, and then everybody else, right? Kyron being the dude by default. I could see Blake being that cat just coming out of nowhere.
Butters, you're up.
But that's like deep, like I'm thinking like 10th round.
Yeah, I think so. I'm shocked to see Cooper Kupp go in the 2nd round. I've not seen that in any mock draft.
I'm seeing it because of Puka's an injury. Like people don't know what to do with Puka.
Okay, fair enough. That just happened.
Especially in PPR. Like if this wasn't PPR, I agree.
Yeah, this is our first PPR draft, so I guess I should have expected him to go earlier. I just didn't think second round, given that like he was pretty bad last year. But if Nakua is out, sure, we just don't know. We just don't know yet. So
Right.
It's odd seeing them both go in the second round. Butters, you want to talk about Kelsey?
Kind of best pick available. Oop, something fell upstairs.
Your wife hates you.
No, it's probably the dog dropping one of his toys.
Right. Your wife's vibrator.
I did.
But couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I love you, Butters, but I am gonna resist.
There's a couple of wide receivers that I wanted, but they just seemed just a little too early for me, so I just went with best pick available.
Nuggets, you're up.
Yeah, I think I know we're going here, and it's gonna be kind of weird.
Let's see if it was my alternative pick, because
everyone's gonna laugh at me, but I honestly have a good feeling about this.
I thought about him. I thought about that pick.
And here's okay. My reason I'm emphasizing anybody from Atlanta, the Chargers, the Bears, the Jets, and the Saints. Ask me why.
What are those teams? The Atlanta, the Chargers, Bears, and Saints.
Falcons, Chargers, Jets, Saints, and Bears.
This is strength of schedule.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, any team in the NFC South is going to have an easy schedule.
But Atlanta is ridiculously so Atlanta in their they have a bye week 12. Then they play at Las Vegas in week 15. Week 16 is the Giants in Atlanta, and then at Washington. So if you're trying to win a championship, like the Falcons are situated to have the easiest strength of schedule.
And by the way, you're up against it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, straight up. I know who I want, and you all are gonna laugh at me, and I don't care. Because I want this dude, because he, as long as he's not hurt, will be a badass.
On H-Chan. Okay. Why do you like him? I mean, obviously the upside's there, but there's a downside.
Yeah, I mean, now I've locked up two great
Butters are up.
running backs.
Am I up already? Oh shit!
And a good wide receiver.
Oh damn it! You picked Laporta. I was thinking about picking. I was thinking about going double.
John is like your bitch. John Tron is basically Butters' kryptonite.
I think John Tron is auto draft. I don't know. Nico Collins. I think he was. So why Nico Collins?
I like Nico Collins.
Yeah, I like that. I was going down the wide receiver. I was kind of wanting him. There's a couple on this. I don't like this pre-sorted.
I took out everybody for New England.
Here, but yeah, I like that.
Anybody that's New England, Carolina is gone out of this. So that's why I looked at this draft. I won't draft anybody for either one of those teams.
I like a running back on one of those teams. I don't.
Stevenson.
No, the other one.
Oh, Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hubbard too, but like if you're telling me like Hubbard versus the field, I'll take the field.
I mean, for what? What field? What do you feel? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like against the running back field. Like if you tell me it's Hubbard versus hold on, let me get somebody here. Like Rashard Penny, not Rashard Penny, bad comparison. Chase Brown out of Cincinnati.
Okay.
You tell me him or Chuba Hubbard. I'm taking Chase Brown.
Okay. I think it's close. I think
I don't disagree. It's close.
Did you see that Zach Moss is on? Did you see that they put Zach Moss as running back one on their depth chart?
Exactly why I want more of Chase Brown, because I think Zach Moss is a decoy.
I think Zach Moss is going to get the goal line. He might be like this year's Jamal Williams.
Oh,
he could be the goal line.
Don't do that to me.
I think it's gonna be 50-50 split. Whereas like I think Hubbard's gonna get most of the touches.
I'm
least in the first
surprised you
half.
picked Waddle. I'm really surprised you picked Waddle there. I
Really?
thought last year he was
I'm
kind of a
not.
Ponzi scheme in that offense, and I still think that's the same case. But I see
No.
why you probably picked him.
I think it goes with what I said, where I think Miami is going to be engaged in a lot of shootouts this year, whereas last year they got out to a big lead and their defense was good enough to shut things down in the second half, and so they ran the ball a lot. And I think this year it's going to be so much different because their defense sucks this year, at least first half of the year when Chubb and Phillips are out. So I like any Miami pass catcher or quarterback this year. I think they're going to have like monster games.
The problem for me with Miami, I mean, yeah, they're going to get you to the playoff, but their first game is at Houston, right?
I'm surprised Aaron Jones went that late.
Their second game is San Francisco in Miami, and their last game is at Cleveland. So if you're trying to win a championship, Miami's dicey, and only because of the conditions. Like in San Francisco, in Miami against San Francisco might have given up. Like they might be like, we got our 1 seed locked up, whatever, right? And you might roll, and then Miami says, "Screw it, we're not playing our starters." And then same thing at Cleveland. Like Cleveland, you're trying to fight for a playoff spot in bad weather. And we saw what happened with Tua in Kansas City last year, where they sucked in cold weather.
Yeah.
Imagine Cleveland week 17, it's a snowstorm. Yeah. Just saying. I mean, like, those cats might quit early, and then Cleveland rolls them, and then you're screwed out of a title.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I'm not as scared about the 49ers matchup. I think San Francisco's secondaries, at least their cornerbacks aren't that good. So
I would agree there.
Yeah, but Cleveland is a different animal, especially if it's in Cleveland. So it's I think that's something to definitely consider. But then again, if he's my weak link, and heading into the championship, if he gets me there and I can play someone else instead of him, I don't know. I think he's okay in the third round. I wouldn't take him earlier than that, even though I say that last draft I did, I took him at the end of the second just because I panicked. I didn't like anyone. But like I said, I regretted not taking quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, we just had our second with Mahomes off the board.
Oh my God. I am about to be super hard.
Butters are up.
Because I need to interrupt this for a breaking news bulletin. I bet the DraftKings prop for either Rooker or Butler to hit a home run. Butler didn't start, but Butler just hit a pinch hit home run. And I just cashed my 4 out of 6 for my round robin. Literally, I'm surprised the desk hasn't shot up out of this thing. Oh my God.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Oh my God. It is insane. Sorry, I had to.
What was your parlay?
Well, it was either Butler or Rooker, and Rooker hasn't hit a bomb. And Butler just did a pitch hit. So
that's wild.
4 for 6 is cash. Oh my God.
All right, Nuggets, you're up. Sorry to pause your celebration there. You're on the clock.
Oh, fuck me. That's what I tell my wife all the time. Just fuck me. Anyway. Oh, shit. All right. Okay, I love life, but I'm going to actually go with I think the best quarterback available.
C.J. Stroud. Okay.
Yeah, I thought about that. I honestly thought about that over Hurts just because of his upside. But
everyone's grabbing his targets.
Wants to be every score.
Everyone's grabbing his targets, and I think he's just a good cat to grab right now. And then you want to bring it back around. I'm going to grab one of his best wide receivers because I think he's a sneaky dude.
Sneaky dude.
I think he's sneaky.
Okay.
Because everyone's going to go like, oh, it's Diggs, and Nico's coming back from an injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him a lot. I was going to take him at the end here. If he got to me,
Yeah.
it's not.
Which he's not, because yeah, we're going.
Yeah. Tanked out. Yeah, I like him a lot. He could be the top receiver on this team. Like,
easily. I think Diggs is the distraction, and I think Nico, while great, but I just like that kind of small, skinny stack. You got two strong running backs. Now we'll grab a tight end, and we'll try to figure it all out from there.
Okay, yeah, I like that you have the stack there. It's something I did during the draft. Butters, you're up again.
I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision because I'm going to go for a reach here.
You don't do decisions anyway.
I'm going to go for a reach.
Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. My DraftKings account just exploded.
Jaden Reed. Wow, Jaden Reed. Want to talk about why?
I think he's going to have I think he's going to have a blow-up year. I think he's actually going to be wide receiver 1 over Christian Watson. I mean, I really like Christian Watson, but Jaden Reed just seems to be all over the place.
I like him in PPR for sure.
Yeah, I think he's just getting so much targets, and it's like you're going to get enough just from the receptions alone.
Yeah. So and you didn't get to talk about the Jalen Hurts pick.
Kind of the best pick available again, but also he just wants to be in the end zone regardless if he's getting the tush push or if he's throwing it. He's going to be in there, so he's just going to get guaranteed points.
Mm-hmm. Steven says, howdy, y'all. Hey, Steven.
How you doing, Steven?
Can he give Stroud an F grade? Can he does, I don't know, 100% he took Gibbs' second pick. Yeah, it looks like Nuggets V-Day, not mine. Am I out of the money? No, I'm barely hanging on now. I'm 150th place. That's life for you in DFS, huh?
Yep,
you're like 1 second you're thinking you're win a decent amount of money and then you win nothing. That's how it goes.
The only one I've gotten wrong.
Yeah. Like I said yesterday, I was golfing and I just randomly picked it up. I was like, how am I turning $1 into 200? And then later I was like, it's just $25. But I was like, I was high as third place. I was like, how is this happening? And like I just picked something at random. It was like, and then Scheffler came ahead and was like, yep, there it goes.
That's pretty wild.
Can we not talk about Scotty and how he fucked me out of like $5,000?
I mean, how many times do you bet against Scotty and it's never worked this year? So many times.
In particular with Scotty, considering how far down he was, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Especially with like 6 holes to go, he was like 5 down, so he had to basically go birdie, 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 birdie to win it all.
But he just came to have fun. He didn't come for a medal.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't come for a medal, and that's what pissed me off. I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm officially going to go 4 out of 6. I'm officially going 4 out of 6 on this round robin, but it pays a good chunk, so I'm happy with it. Because I had Marte or Ramirez hit a bomb, Conforto or Chapman hit the bomb, Altuve or Bregman hit the bomb, Royce or Kepler, nobody hit a bomb. Same with Witt or Devers, but then Rooker or Butler, and Butler hit the bomb.
Somebody set up us the bomb. I was telling Butters this before we started recording. I was like Saturday night. I was looking at Scheffler 14-1 to win. He was 6 back. I'm like, man, that looks so juicy. Scheffler 14-1. Like when he got the best golfer in the world at 14-1, and I was like, I stared at it for like a half hour. I'm thinking like, man, he just sucks on these European courses. I'm not going to do it. And of course, I wake up and like Scheffler is like tied for first with Fleetwood. It's like, come on, man. Just kicking myself.
That's kind of where I go. You know what? I'll throw $10 on it and call it a day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could have done that. I was thinking like $50, $100 bad. Was I should have just
small change, right? Nothing to go nuclear over.
Right. There are a lot of running backs I'm looking at here. And I think that some of them are going to get back to me. So I'm going to there are not a lot of receivers I've left near the top of my board. So I'm going to take another receiver, 4 receivers in a row here. That's a Keenan Allen in round 5, Marquise Brown round 6. I feel like they're both heavy receptions guys.
Mhm.
You never know with Keenan Allen joining a new team. Obviously, Brown on a new team as well, but Keenan Allen's going to be playing with the Caleb Williams, and Brown's going to be playing with the best quarterback in the NFL. So at least one of them should be pretty good.
Xavier Worthy is my sleeper guy. I think Worthy is because of all the Rashid Rice stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going to happen. Court dates BS. I think
what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen with him?
He'll probably get suspended, but
how many games though?
I'm not the commissioner. I'm going to guess 4.
Okay.
But even 4 with Rashid Rice, give me Worthy, and then he becomes the Juju or who's the one that Mahomes freezed out last year? Not
Tony.
Yeah, exactly. Rashid Rice becomes this year's Kadarius Toney.
Wow. Okay. That would make me upset because I have Rashid Rice Elite card for this year. Wait, never mind. No,
wait, that doesn't exist anymore.
I know. So I find myself thinking
there was a joke, but I'm bumped.
I find myself thinking that sometimes. I hear Caleb Williams. I hear a report on him. I'm like, oh, I have a Caleb Williams legendary. This is great. Oh wait, no, I don't. It's gone.
As long as they gave you money, who cares?
I guess I still care. I just I'm gonna miss it. It's just sucks. It's over. I really want someone to do it.
It's a shame that Gig 6 is taking this long to make a pick.
Well, only 45 seconds. It's not too bad. In one of my leagues I used to be in, not anymore. We didn't have a time limit, which is a big mistake because there was this guy in my league. There's one guy in my league every year, and Butter's on the clock.
Oh my God! You took a Patriot. Why are you saying that Patriot? Oh God!
So it would be like 13th round too, and be like, I don't know. Let me think. It was like 5 minutes to make a pick. It's like, come on, man. It's just so tired at this point. I just want to get this draft over with. And then it's like 14th round, same thing. It takes like 5 minutes to pick. And I don't know. I was pushing for a time limit on these picks.
This is going to be maybe a reach.
How big of a reach are you making?
Nick Chubb.
Oh my God! Why?
I was laughing because Nuggets was talking about getting a Chubber for the draft, and now you drafted him. I just thought that maybe you had that in mind when you.
Who was I trying to pick? There it is. I forgot. I was looking for the right pick, and I was like, I'm low on time. Like, I got to pick something so I don't go into auto draft. So I went for that, but then. Now I picked who I was actually going to pick, so but maybe we'll see if he comes back.
Nuggets, you're up.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure something to pick in this wasteland of things.
I'm just thinking if Nick Chubb comes back.
Stop talking. Stop talking. You get too much. I hate. Oh God, I hate everything at tight end. I hate everything. I hate everything. Period. You know what? Screw it. You know what? No, I'm going with the guy that I said straight up, to hell with it. Give me him. I don't care.
You got Zay Flowers? Okay.
No, not Zay Flowers. I'm trying to hit the freaking button to select him. No, I didn't pick him. Damn it.
Are you on auto draft or did you get?
No, I'm not on auto draft. I was literally clicking the guy who I want to pick, and it won't let me pick him.
I don't think Zay Flowers is a terrible pick.
He's horrible. I didn't pick him.
I don't think he's that bad either. I don't know. It's
horrible.
Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse.
You guys are drunk. I'm not picking him.
Who would? You're up. Well,
I have good American money not invested on him. McLaurin was my actual pick.
Okay.
But my real pick is this dude now. So.
Oh, Worthy. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to pick that.
My original plan was McLaurin and Worthy. That was my original plan.
Okay. Well, Butters, you're up again.
Okay, I'm going to pick who I was supposed to pick then. So just go that route.
Your mom?
Yeah.
But I'm bumped.
All right, why Austin?
Sorry, Alex. I love you, but
I know you do.
I couldn't resist.
I mean, I forget. I wanted to pick Eckler there instead of Chubb, and then it was just like, okay, wanted to make sure that I didn't run out of time there, but kind of the best. I felt like kind of the best running back available. I mean, he still has. I feel like he still has gas.
He's got something, and they say Jade Daniels is going to be starter week 1.
And Jaden Daniels is going to run around too, so it's hard to tell what they're going to do.
You guys are drunk. Nah, we're not drunk yet.
It's been a while.
Fair,
it's been a while.
I haven't left the screen yet.
Are we sponsored by Good Boy seltzers?
If they want to. I don't like seltzer, but yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to drink a decent mixing drink, I mean, the high noon iced teas are good. But I can't do the seltzers anymore to a carbonation. But like, just give me straight bourbon or rye, and I'm happy. But we haven't started that yet because this is a professional show.
Yeah, usually you want to start like the double-digit round so it doesn't affect you. But like by the end of the draft, you start getting there.
I am worried about Ezekiel Elliott making it out of camp. Is anyone else worried about that?
I don't think he's the starter. In fact, I don't think the starting running back for the Cowboys is on their roster right now.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I wonder who they're going to pick up. I think they might trade for someone, maybe like Khalil Herbert or something, like whichever running back Chicago doesn't want. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I would not take Elliott there, but I think that might have been auto draft because they ran out of time. The team number 7, whoever.
Hell, I mean, grab somebody out of Green Bay. Grab a Marshawn Lloyd or an AJ Dillon.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm up in 2 picks. All the running backs I liked fell to me off for the most part. So my gambit sort of paid off, even though these guys aren't that great. Really went. Richardson went. If I was going for a quarterback, I think I would have considered him there, but I think you can wait on quarterback now that the top guys are gone. I'm going with.
He's claiming my computer froze and I got Elliott. Okay. Give me a break. And I go, Slew, if that's the case, fine.
I know Slew doesn't not like Elliott. I know.
All right, if that's the case, Slew, DM me. I'll send you $50. I feel bad that your computer froze. Maybe $50 will make you buy a better computer.
Okay, explain to me Jalen Warren in your best Arthur Smith impersonation.
Jalen Warren runs the ball.
Because he's gonna play Patterson. He's gonna run out Patterson like first play.
I know. But Jalen Warren, it could. If you want to match Atlanta players, Jalen Warren is what Tyler Algier was last year, right? Because he's the number 2. So there you go. He's going to get the ball.
Oh, Spears, I like that.
That was the other guy I was considering as well.
Like if Ayuk gets traded to Pittsburgh, he'll like never see the field. Arthur Smith's like, no, Cadell Patterson's way better than this guy.
Oh God, it's gonna happen.
How does Arthur Smith still have a job? That's my question.
Well, I'm gonna take the other Tennessee running back, Tony Pollard.
Yeah, that would have been my counter.
Yeah, I was looking at like Warren, Spears, Pollard, and Zamir White, Eckler. Those 5 guys, and I was like, some of them are going to come back to me, and 3 did. So pretty happy about that. There's some other guys I like as well here as the running backs. I think running back is a lot deeper than I thought. So I might lower the threshold I have for running backs and bump up receivers. It feels like receiver is thinner than running back. Have you guys come to the same conclusion, or do you think something different
there?
I think it's the opposite. I think running back is huge, and I think receiver's thin.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think receiver's a lot thinner than running back.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. But yeah, I mean, I just think the whole running back room, I think, has been just evaporated, right? I mean, you look at the Rams last year, and they basically put like dude off the street, and they were able to make it work. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of other teams are looking at that and going, "We're doing the same thing." I mean, other than the Patriots, to put money into running back, which makes no sense to me. Mm-hmm. I can't see another team that put good money into a running back this year, other than like the Phillies, the Eagles stealing away Saquon. But did they really steal away Saquon, or was like the Giants were just like, F it?
But they paid Jones so much money that they just.
I know, that's my point. Where it's like they're like, but Daniel Jones is not worth that money. I'm sorry.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean that they're stuck with him. I think that they're going to try to get Arch Manning in the 2026 draft.
I would agree with her.
That's like that's gonna be their long-term goal. So
yeah, which is not a long-term goal. It's more of a short-term goal.
Yeah, it's true. But like I'm thinking, like, what if they get the top pick in 2025? Do they take Shador Sanders or do they wait another year? Nuggets are up.
Why do you take Shador Sanders? He is not the ending. He's not the end-all be-all of your franchise.
You took another quarterback?
I did.
Okay, why is that?
I like Detroit's schedule, and in case for some reason there's a sophomore slump, I get Buffalo in Detroit on week 15, where I have to qualify for the playoffs, right? Or first round, and then I get at the Bears, which the Bears, as we all know, don't exactly have a great defense. And then at San Francisco, I'll take my chances with Lions as a revenge. And I'm on the clock again.
Yes.
So, I know who I want, but you're not here. Ah, there you are. But it might be a reach, but I'm going to grab you anyway.
Jameson Williams, so stacking it with Goff. Why do you like him?
I want a mini stack of whoever I grab, right? Like I did that with Tank Dell and CJ Stroud. I'm going to do it with Goff and Williams. And I'm grabbing a lot of one-offs here and there, right? Like Zay Flowers and Drake. But I also have Jahmyr Gibbs, right? So now I got Gibbs, Goff, and Williams. So now I got a great Detroit stack. I mean, there are worse things.
I think I'm going to go for a slam dunk play.
You don't have any slam dunk plays.
Shaheed, why do you like him?
He just goes out. He
is jumping off the page. He's like every New Orleans reporter's wet dream right now.
He's kind of like a Watson play at this point. He's just going to go deep.
I don't disagree. I mean, everything I'm reading out of New Orleans is that, especially when they play Washington week 15, week 16 they're at Green Bay, week 17 against the Raiders in New Orleans. Like, you could do worse.
Yeah.
I mean, the other teams to consider are the Titans and the Vikings. If you want to pick one of the teams, the Raiders seem the craziest schedule. Like the Raiders are playing Atlanta in Vegas, then they get Jacksonville in Vegas, and then they get New Orleans at New Orleans. So you get 3 dome games in a row. Like if you're not picking Raiders players, it's kind of like your backups. I don't know what you're doing, or at least teams facing the Raiders, I should say.
And you don't want to face the Raiders either because their defense is pretty sick.
Yeah, especially with Antonio Pierce doing it. I mean, they did a good job last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Why is Nitty G-Gen asking for Butters to show their feet? I'm confused by that one.
Show my feet?
It says show feet.
Where?
Okay. It says Butters show feet.
What am I going to do? Am I going to do like an Aaron Rodgers with the COVID toe?
I mean, maybe that gives Nitty D-Gen a I don't know.
Wait, I know who you are.
Hey, I'm just relaying information. That's all I do.
Nice.
Matheson can get right. Yeah, okay, it's an F grade, but you know what? I went with.
If you notice, he's given every NFC North player that's not on the Vikings upgrades because he's.
Yeah, but you know where's Matheson right now? Oh, that's right. He's on the Raiders. I mean, if you want Alexander Madison, that's where he is. And oh, by the way, you can give me an F grade all you want. I'm just going for stacking capabilities of what was available. So I don't disagree with you, but I also am like, name a better player to pick to stack with right now. Like, because we all know that Laporta is gone, Amara is gone. Like, who else from Detroit would you grab? Tell me. I mean, I got Gibbs, I got Williamson, and Goff.
So I'm up right now.
Jordan Addison, are we talking a year-long suspension here?
No, I think 6 games probably.
I'm reading reports that it could be a year-long suspension.
Really?
Because of the whole Harry Ruggs thing. Because the guy who killed. Because they might set a precedent because of him being in jail. If you drink and drive, they might say, "Oh, you're out for a year." I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
That's something.
That seems to be harsh to me. But then the same thing about Rashid Rice. That's why I didn't pick him when I could have over Xavier Worthy, because they're saying with Rashid Rice and that street racing thing, and that court case hasn't been resolved yet. So I'm avoiding cats. Yeah, Harry Ruggs.
I think Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, so Henry Ruggs. Yeah. Thank you, Steven. Steven, chasing tornadoes, saving lives right now. You see a bunch of people out of Buffalo because of all the shit that was happening out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I could definitely see.
Nitty Degen is gay? Well, thank you. You're cool. Like, I have no problem if you're gay or not. I don't care. I'm just telling you your pick was like, huh?
So Addison, 3 games at most.
Okay, still 3 games is a lot in a 17-game season.
Yeah,
especially against a rookie quarterback. Am I wrong? Probably, but who else?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah, I could see the NFL coming down hard on him, especially given that like these players have so many options. Like just call an Uber. It's not that hard.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. You wait 3 minutes.
Security team. Like this is the whole thing about Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
Like
Butters.
Sorry. Butters, you pick, and I'll talk about
3 of my picks I got taken.
Oh my god, what the hell, Nitty?
Oh no! Oh fuck!
You're gonna pick Aaron Hernandez.
Give me fantasy football calculator. He might still be there.
He might be in spirit.
Come on!
Oh my god! You better show us video. Okay, I'm gonna lose it. Oh god!
Is that your number 2 tight end, Brock Bowers?
I haven't laughed so hard this long. This is great. Nitty, whoever you are, DM me and I'll send you $50. Fuck.
You can send everyone $50. It's better when guys in college will slow down.
I know who you are, Thopsy. Come on now. I know
you.
Oh, that's very great. That is so
Nuggets are up.
Yeah, I know I'm now. God damn it, everyone's leaving me the scraps. You know what? The hell with y'all. I know exactly where I'm actually gonna go. And y'all are gonna laugh at me, and I don't care.
You keep saying we're gonna laugh at you. Blake Corn. I don't know why. Why are we laughing? I think it's a good pick.
Exactly. You're not gonna laugh at me. I'm just telling you, you're gonna laugh at me because I think that's the best pick right now.
Yeah, I would have considered him if I didn't already have 5 running backs.
He's good insurance.
Yeah.
Well, I put it this way: everyone's saying he's the 3rd down passing back, right? We're in a PPR league. I kind of need a 3rd down running back, and in the off chance that Karen Williams gets hurt, I just made out like a bandit.
Yeah. I think if he gets a chance, I think he could be really good.
Oh, yeah.
In that offense. And Kyron Williams hasn't had the best injury history. So, like, I think you said off chance. I think there's, like, a really good chance, that
I know.
Get some starts.
I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was trying to be, how dare I be?
All right, you're up again.
Now this is going to be a bit of a stretch, but it matches a stack that I have.
Okay. Dalton Schultz. Okay. Yeah, so you pair him with CJ Stroud. I like it.
And also with
Buttershot.
All right.
Right.
I'm going to pick the comeback player of the year.
Oh, you're
Aaron Rodgers. Like that reaction.
You freaking cheesehead mofo. I went off to Egypt instead of being in training camp. And Garrett Wilson's like, yo, I would have done this. He's like, but you could have done this. He's like, but Garrett says straight up, if you were in training camp, we could have done this.
He just needed one completion to actually be front runner of comeback player of the year, right? Just one completion.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be Butters last year.
Whatever drugs you are on, do not send them to me because they are bad drugs.
Okay, who else would you have for comeback player of the year?
Kyler Murray.
You think? I mean, he played the second half of last year.
Did he though?
Yeah. He beat the Eagles. He beat the Steelers. He almost beat the Texans. Arizona, by the way, I think I'm locking in Arizona +7 because it's gone to 6.5 in a lot of sports books, but it's still 7 at FanDuel.
I disagree.
I like Arizona quite a bit. Buffalo has Miami week 2 on a Thursday, so that could be a look at.
Arizona has the 16th best. Well, they're literally in the middle. They're literally like they have the 16th best or 16th ranked strength of schedule at 7. They're saying 7.5 wins here. So if you can get it at 6.5, you're already making money.
Yeah. I meant +7 against Buffalo in week 1.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I think that's a good number. Arizona is so competitive at the end of last year. They went into Pittsburgh and they killed the Steelers. They went into the Philly to beat the Eagles. They went into Houston. They lost to the Texans by 5. Like when well, like they almost beat Seattle to close out the year. Like they were really tough, and now they have Marvin Harrison Jr. So I think their offense is gonna be really good. Their defense is pretty shaky, but at least their offense is pretty stacked. Freiermuth just went, so I was hoping some of these tight ends would come back to me. They did. Someone has to explain to me why this guy's available, the tight end. Let's see here, Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, why is he still there?
That's crazy. 11th round. Like I would have taken him in the 9th round. Been happy.
There's a couple other tight ends that are down there too, where it's like,
yeah, for sure. But there's just I feel like there's so many good tight ends that you can get late. So, so like, where you got
like Brock Bauer we don't know, but I still feel like he's got a wide receiver 1 potential, unlike some NFL teams.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Wait, there's a guy. I'm kind of shocked that he's not taking either. So I missed him. I'm probably gonna get him here. If B-Day 8 equals the Walt D4 Walt doesn't take him. So we'll see. But maybe I'm missing it. I'm kind of surprised he's not gone given the news.
Well, Joey Russo made a good point. Nick Chubb comeback player of the year. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yes, if if his knee holds up, that's the issue.
Yeah, like I definitely reached with him, but I mean, like if he comes back healthy, I'd be scared.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall. Ajax is going to get traded. Sounds like. After that happens, I'm sure his ADP will skyrocket. But we're talking about that happening already. So, like, if you're drafting now, you can get Pearsall around 12. I would do it.
Who picked? Where is he? Okay, Kittle. Okay, Kittle definitely got picked early. I was like, if Kittle's still there, what the heck?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I would have taken him. I would have gone with him in round 9 for sure. Round 7, I would have thought about it. Cole Kmet was the other tight end I was looking at, and I thought about drafting Caleb Williams because I had Keenan Allen. I don't like that I don't have a stack. Like I have Jaden Daniels, but he's a rushing quarterback, so I'm not like dying to add a receiver with him. You know, he can just get there by himself.
Oh, I know someone that I should put on my list. Where is he?
John says to still think the 49ers working out with Ayuk. Maybe, but like all the rumors are today, like swirling that they're going to trade him. But yeah, I could definitely see it. Yeah, he's there because of the addition of Saquon. Yeah, Goddard's the 4th option. I don't know, I guess, but I mean, he's so heavily involved still. Butters, you're up.
I'll take a veteran.
Adam Thielen, okay. Why him?
Who else is going to get thrown to on that offense?
Well,
you showed early in the season that he was getting targets. I mean, I'll take someone that's just kind of, you know, he's going to get targets. I don't know if he's going to be as good like when he kind of exploded for a couple games, but you never know. Maybe they finally figured out something with that offense.
Well, they have Deontay Johnson. They have Xavier Leggett. Don't forget the mighty Ian Thomas, who's stolen the spotlight in training camp. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Nuggets took Kirk Cousins. Okay.
Mini stack
Cousins.
I had Drake London.
Drake London. Okay.
The only reason why. I mean, grab him and again, I think the Falcons have the easiest strength of schedule, and on top of that, they play at Las Vegas. They play the Giants in a dome, and they play Washington, you know, in outdoors. I mean, give me 2 out of 3, I'm in.
Okay, you're up again.
Yeah, I know. I gotta figure where I'm gonna go.
And remember, this is only 15 rounds instead of 16 for some reason. So
yeah,
this will be your last non-kicker, non-defense pick.
Yeah,
Unless you don't have to take them, but whatever.
Screw it. I'm gonna pick defense anyway.
Okay. Baltimore defense. Tough matchup week 1 though.
Yeah, it's week 1, but give me the rest of the season. I'm in.
Fair enough. I say this all the time. If you draft early, and I'm not talking about like the week before the season starts, but like if you're drafting now or in a week or 2, you don't take a defense or kicker unless you're forced to, because you could take and Butters up. You could take as many sleepers as you can, and that gives you more chances to land sleepers. And then you could just pick up a defense or kicker ahead of week 1, and there's a decent chance like your defense or kicker is going to outscore your opponent's decent defense or kicker. That's how volatile those positions are.
I don't disagree.
I picked the sleeper.
Trent Irwin. Why him?
Every time that there was an injury on a wide receiver on the bank for the Bengals, he came up and put up like 13, 14 points.
That's true.
Every single time. It's like, if I want to guarantee like 10 plus points, done.
Yes.
Like every single time like there was an injury, I just played him. I didn't care what the ownership was. I was like, sure, I'll take my 13 points and walk away.
Yeah, I'm hearing Andre Yoshivas buzz.
I heard that too.
I think one of those receivers. I mean, because Tyler Boyd's gone, so someone's going to have to take those targets. So or it could be Gesicki too. But it's going to be one of them.
Gesicki, I'm sorry, he was in Miami. Then he came to New England for 2 years and he sucked. And now you're telling me he's going to be good in Cincinnati?
No.
Question mark.
No, I don't think he's gonna be that good. But I'm saying like who's gonna get targets? Like he might get some targets.
He'll get targets. I'm not gonna disagree, but like is he gonna be like number 1 targets like a Gronk?
I think Wicks over here was a great Wicks. Kid no name. I think Wicks was a great pick. That
I like Wicks there a lot too.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
Taking Antonio Gibson. Oh my God, Gibson's very.
They picking a tight end, and I think you're gonna pick.
Gibson's gonna be shot in the leg. Oh no, that's
the other one.
Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Shots of many men. Because everyone's gonna be, oh, it's Brian Robinson. No, it's Antonio
Nuggets,
Davis
if he comes
sucks.
back around for you, I gotta pick for you.
Yeah, it's called Not My Wife.
Ah,
All right. I took Dotson to pair with Daniels because I figured
I like that.
why not? Everyone was high on Dotson last year, and then he just didn't
Has
do
anyone
anything.
picked Caleb Williams yet?
Yes, I was going to take him if they didn't. Ray Davis, second running back on the Bills, potentially, and he might get goal line carries because James Cook is not that sort of player.
No,
So no, so I don't know. Well, I'm not in love with the pick. He's at the very bottom of my sleepers list because there's a chance like if Cook goes down, then who's going to get the touches? But I could have gone in a number of other directions there. We had some questions here. Matthias, 3 quarterbacks. Thoughts, Walter? I'm not a fan of 3 quarterbacks personally. I think I would limit it to 2. I get the stack that Nuggets had. But yeah, I think that like it's gonna be tough like to play Cousins. I feel like you're probably gonna cut Cousins at some point.
I'm playing more off percentages, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, Cousins was available. I could have gone a bunch of different directions. I know, but the question was like, why go 3? Honestly, I could probably just go 2, but I kind of want to protect my stack if that makes sense, right? Like, I want to make sure I get the most maximum points. So that's the only reason why I did it, and I can always like dump the guys on the waiver wire because they suck.
All right, Nuggets, you're up.
I know.
And Joey says, "Well, I live in New Orleans. I'm a diehard Saints fan and LSU fan. Jaden can throw too. Oh yeah, I'm not saying he can. I think he's going to be a terrific passer in the NFL. But I'm saying that he can get there on his own with his legs. Like you don't necessarily need to stack him. Like he's one of those quarterbacks you can play stackless in DFS, kind of like Lamar Jackson.
Nuggets, you're up. I got a pick for you.
Yeah, no, I'm going Musgrave, so it's okay.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Wow.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Why him?
Oh, I know it. Go ahead, Butters.
Like
Tell me why I picked him.
Well, why? Especially with Tucker Kraft there. I never know which tight end they're going to go with.
Exactly. Like you could play any of them. Like they just like picked it up and went. I think there's just a lot of weapons on that team.
There is.
They just meshed really well, and they're young, and they're ready to play.
Fair enough.
But they're ready to play in primetime games. Like it seems like Saturday games and Sunday games, they suck.
Nuggets, who do you like in week 1, or also Butters? Who do you like in week 1 between the Packers and Eagles in Brazil? With the Eagles are -2 or -1.5? You're up, by the way, Nuggets. Butters.
I hate the whole game, to be honest. But
really?
I know there's going to. I mean, you're in Mexico City week 1, like altitude.
That's Brazil. It's Brazil.
But still, you're at altitude.
I'm not going to pick the Packers just for a homer, but I'm going to pick the Packers because I think they have a better defense.
I think it's pretty comparable.
I think Philly's the way to go, but I mean, I just hate being in neutral site stadiums.
Nuggets, you're. I don't know if you knew you're up, but it's your last pick.
I know.
Is it an altitude? I have no idea. Honestly, I didn't look at it.
I got to double check, but it feels like because
nice. Sure. Nitty DGen is happy about that one.
Oh, mother puss bucket! That's not what I picked. I literally picked Pierce from Houston.
Butters are up.
Oh, I hate this website.
Because you said it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to pick.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Sanders.
Eagles.
Okay. Matthias says, Walt, thoughts on only drafted 3 running backs when they drafted 3 QBs and 2 tight ends? Who drafted 3 running backs? Let's see. It's Nuggets, I think. Nuggets is 3 running backs. Butters is 3 running backs.
Yeah. I only have 3 running backs. I'm pretty.
I think I have 5. I have 6. I would draft more. I would draft more running backs. I think like 4 would be the minimum. I think 5 is probably the right number, but it depends on like which sleepers you get late.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, I'm kind of. I used to laugh about it, but I'm kind of more and more like one of those like no running back kind of league kind of persons where it's just like, I know I picked Breece Hall right away, but if I had the choice, I would have picked a premium wide receiver. I probably should have picked like Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jamar Chase, but I did really I think Tyreek Hill is warranted as the best. If we don't know what's going to happen right now with CD at the moment, he should get re-signed, but you wonder what's going to happen. But Tyreek is, in a high-powered offense, I'd pick him 100%.
John asking, are you guys being forced to draft kickers? No, you're not forced to do anything here. I'm of the mind that you should be able to do whatever you want. However, I do like to troll with the kickers, and let's pour one out for Raymakers here, because I used to have to drive to Trenton every week to submit my Raymakers lineups because stupid Pennsylvania made me do that. So they didn't have a Trenton Lewis, but they have a Camden Lewis, so a different city, New Jersey. So that is why I took Camden Lewis. I have no idea who this person is. But yeah, so that's why I took him. Dylan says I saw Zeke out drinking a couple weeks ago. He's not as big as I thought. He's old, and I want to fade him. Yeah, I would definitely fade him. Where did he go in this draft? Did he go like? Oh, it was Slew took him because his computer froze. Right, he went. What round was this? He went seventh round. Where is he? Yeah, seventh round. So yeah, round. I wonder where he would have went if Slew's computer didn't freeze. I'm sure one of the other bots would have taken him. But I don't know where he goes in real drafts, but like it can't be late enough, because I think that he's not going to be the starter there. His current ADP is 10.01, which I think is still a little too early. In fact, Dallas, I don't know.
Yeah, Dallas.
I don't know if I draft him, honestly. I don't think I would draft him.
Dallas almost feels like the Packers during both COVID years, because it's just like, what is your offense? CeeDee Lamb. Like, who else is going to produce? Okay, are you sure?
Yeah,
you
just Ferguson. Yeah, just Ferguson.
But it's like, who's going to be your primary target? CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't think, like I said before, I don't think the starting running backs on that team. I think they trade for someone, or maybe it's Dowdle, but I think they make a move and get someone. I think someone's going to get cut at the final roster spot day, and they might trade for someone like Khalil Herbert or something, maybe Javonte Williams. I could see that happening too. I really don't think Elliott or Dowdle is going to start. I think they're going to find someone else.
They do have I think he's third string. They did draft that. I think he was an undrafted free agent. The NDSU running back. He was more of like a fullback back in college, but he's just begging, just kind of bulldozes over, and I can't remember his name. I have to look it up.
Cash the White Sox losing again.
Nice.
Hunter Lemke, that's his name.
Lemke. Okay. Steve says, which DK would go no defenses for DFS full time for NFL? Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Coy, I do not disagree. And thank you for chasing tornadoes again.
Yeah.
This dude, all he does is chase tornadoes. God bless.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I agree with the sentiment. There's already a lot of variance in DFS. Like, why do you need more? It's so stupid. Like, add as if you want to keep the same number of spots on the roster, like add a second flex or something. You don't, or maybe a third running back or a fourth receiver, like, or second tight end. Like, you don't need the stupid defense. At least they don't have kicker anymore. They used to have kicker.
I think it was last year that it was like, if you look at like the Millie Makers, I think it had to be, I know it was over 50%, that it was like a 5% or less defense just was the nuts every single time. So I would go, and it was like under 3K. It's like under 3K or 3K and below, 5% or less. You find one and you're going to get a gold mine. And it's just like, that's all you needed.
I just feel like people go for the cheapest one. I always like the sweet spots, like 2,900, 2,800, like somewhere in the middle. Like, no one's looking in the middle. Everyone's either looking at the top, the best defenses, or the very bottom, the cheapest ones. Like, no one's like looking in the middle. Like, I think that's the way to go personally. But
you just like go on an onslaught. Not a lot of people play like onslaughts. For instance, like I'll give for example last year when it was Raiders versus Chargers, where it was like 63-21.
Yeah,
and it was like
Yeah, the
Every
next
single
week was
piece
like
connected well.
0-3 or something.
Yeah, Minnesota Raiders. That was 3-0.
Yeah.
That was great.
Everyone betting the over, and I was like, oh.
That was something. Chris says, Chris and Joey says, let's break down the teams. You guys want to talk about your teams first? I don't know why Nuggets switched the computer, but Nuggets, you want to break down your team, then Butters, and then I'll talk about mine. So go in order here.
Yeah. So for me, I was trying to pair anybody with my, wide receiver or my running back. I mean, I able to get a lot of Detroit. I'm pretty high on them this year. So Gibbs, Goff, and then I think I got one more, Williams, because I think he's due for a good bounce back. But the way I looked at it was like get the best player available, especially with all the weird news that's going on, especially with like Rashid Rice. Is he actually going to be available or not? That's why I grabbed Worthy. I wish I grabbed a little bit more Minnesota, but I didn't, only because it didn't present itself. But having Stroud and Tank, I think, is a good start along with Schultz. I mean, you could do worse for a Houston stack when I think they're going to win the division outright and really lay waste to a lot of cats. I grabbed the Baltimore defense just because I think it's ridiculous. So, I mean, you kind of look at this from a long scheme. Like, you look at the last games for the Ravens, it's at the Giants, and then Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I don't care who your quarterback is. Like, Pittsburgh can run over them. And then at Houston in a dome. Like, so I got my Houston team along with Baltimore defense. I don't care who comes out of that as long as I win money because it's a championship week. So,
okay, Butters, want to talk about your team?
I honestly feel like these middle picks are like having the kind of a middle pick like here at 5, anywhere between like 5 to 7 or maybe 8 is just a hard place to be. And I'm kind of glad that I decided to randomly pick over here just because like you're going to get your premium picks right away where, okay, you're going to have your Tyreek, you're going to have your CD, you're going to have your McCaffrey. Brees makes sense. I'm surprised he fell down to 5, but I understand why you wanted to pick Gibbs over him as well. But it's like when you're coming kind of back around, like I didn't really want to pick Kelsey. I wanted to pick like a wide receiver, but it's like I'd rather pick Kelsey over a lot of other plays that I was in at that point. Like later on, you could get like Jacobs. You can get. I'm actually surprised Aaron Jones was so low, but I felt like it was kind of balanced in some ways. You got some playmakers as well. Like when you get Nico, like any wide receiver really from Houston seems like that they're. Could just go for their ceiling at any time. Jalen Hurts, he wants to be scoring points regardless if it's on the ground or if it's throwing. And then I said earlier that Chubb was definitely a reach. I was having some issues with some picks. I was going to pick Eckler over Chubb, but I picked Eckler when he came back around just because I needed another running back. But I just wanted some playmakers or just people that I felt that they had like a high potential ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Nuggets had to jump off. He gave us a private message saying that he had to go. So I'll talk about my team here. So I wanted one of Justin Jefferson or AJ Brown. Now, the way I had it in my board, I had Williams ahead of both, and I think that might be a mistake. I think I have running backs too high in my spreadsheet, just given that it felt like running backs are like the depth for running backs is higher than usual this year. So I'm going to lower running backs and raise receivers. So yeah, I would ideally want one of Jefferson or Brown. Like I kind of regret taking Williams there. I could have taken Brown there instead. And I don't know if B-Day 8 equals D. Maybe Chris can enlighten me. I don't know if he would have taken both Taylor or Jacobs. So if I would have taken Brown at 11, I would have gotten probably Taylor at 202, which I think would have been much better. Or at the very least, gotten Jacobs there. So after I went double running back, I don't recommend. I would recommend running back receiver or vice versa. Then I went quadruple receiver like Jalen Waddle with the Miami offense team to throw a lot in the second half this year. Pittman, so PPR stud, Keenan Allen PPR stud, Marquise Brown with Patrick Mahomes. Then I shorted my running backs with Warren, Pollard, and Dobbins. I think Dobbins could be a steal this year, but there are risks. But ninth round, like it's not much of a gamble at that point. I only have one quarterback here, Jane Daniels. It's risky to go with only one quarterback, but given where I was drafting, I didn't like it very much. I think I would have. I think I would have considered Caleb Williams at 1202, but B-Day got me there. I wanted a tight end though. And I wanted to make sure I got Dallas Goedert because I thought he was a steal. Pearsall, I think he's going to go a lot higher soon if Ajax traded. And then you have Dotson to pair with Daniels. And, of course, Camden Lewis. You can't go wrong with that. New Jersey name. Okay, so John says, yeah, Walter has the best team besides Dobbins. Yeah, I know, John, you don't like Dobbins. But, well, I still have to do that research on the Achilles. So maybe I'll think differently. Okay, Chris says I would have taken Kyron for sure. So, yeah, you would have taken Kyron and no, I'm asking Chris, would you have taken Kyron and Taylor? Would you go on double running back? Like that's what I'm wondering, basically. John says Ray Davis is looking better than James Cook and Cam. It's interesting. We'll see what happens during the preseason. Should be very interesting. Let's break down these teams. Unless you have to go, Butters. I don't know if you.
No, I can stick around.
Cool. All right, Dylan's team. So he started double running back as well. He went McCaffrey, Pacheco, although, when you're at the turn, it's not really double because then he went Josh Allen. And then he went running back less for a while. He took Devontae Smith, Kincaid, Neighbors, McLaurin, Rashee Rice. I like his team. It depends on, obviously, the Rice suspension, but I don't think it's going to be that long. I don't think it's going to be season long. If it's 4 games, it's fine. 6 games, a little dicey in the 8th round, but I like the rest of his receivers. I like Hubbard a lot. Talked about him earlier. I'm not a big fan of Jerry Jeudy. I think that he's kind of sucks. But I do like Palmer, Chandler. Jalen Wright is a guy who has a lot of upside. And then likely is the second tight end. Okay. And then Royce Freeman, who has gotten some buzz as a guy who could be the RB2 there. But I'm not sure. Like I said, I think Dallas's running back situation is fluid. I like Dylan's team. What do you think about it?
I thought Josh Allen was maybe a little bit too high. Just personally, like when it comes to quarterback, I feel like when it came to that point where he was on the turn there, it's like you kind of needed enough. I felt like you should have picked a running back, or a wide receiver, or even a tight end. Like Sam Laporta would have actually been a good pick right there, just so that he actually has a receiver focal point of the offense there. But I could see where he is probably just looking down, and seeing like, okay, what's my potential trade offs and those sorts of things. I thought you could have even picked like I had like Nico Collins, or you could even pick the Deebo Samuels, assuming that Ayuk would is going to be traded. I mean, you have some potential for some more focal points. So I guess that may have kind of changed up his draft a little bit, but I see where he wants the premium with the Josh Allen there as well.
Joey says Walt is being nice. Dylan's team is atrocious. I missed this trash talk we had with Dylan versus Joey. This is fantastic. I hope you guys can come on the show because we had that planned last year. It just didn't work out. But there's tons of wide receiver value in the middle rounds. Yeah, there really is. Actually, I think running back is for me personally. I thought running back was even. I thought that was even deeper. All right, so Walter's daddy. So he went Hill and Olave, so the opposite. He went double receiver early, and then Cooks, Montgomery. I'm not crazy about Montgomery. In fact, I'm not sure. Maybe this is auto drafted, but Montgomery in PPR in the 4th round. If this is standard, it's fine, but in PPR, I don't like that. Mike Evans, I think, is a little long in the mouth, as one running back once said. He's 31. I don't know. Evan Ingram, I like. Mostert, he's so injury prone, but I guess that's fine. Thomas, I like as a sleeper, but 8th round, I think that's a bit too early. He snatched Tua from me. I was going to take Tua to pair with.
That was a good pick.
Joe Waddle. So yeah, I think that was a really good value here in the 9th round. Conversely, I don't like Jonathan Brooks. So he's not going to be available until like week 4. And even then, like they're going to have to ramp him up slowly. So, and he apparently he likes these ACL tears because he took Mike Williams as well. Xavier Legette has injuries right now that you never know. Quentin Johnson, I think, that's a waste. I think Taysom Hill as well. I don't like when are you going to play Taysom Hill? I just don't see it. But all in all, this seems okay. I didn't like many of the picks, but there is some upside here. Any thoughts on this?
Well, I wanted to go back to Dylan's comment here for a moment where He was saying there's a lot of value at wide receiver in the middle. I agree with that. I guess I'm just looking at this as, PPR versus standard. If this was standard, I would like leaning more with running back, but with PPR, I kind of want more of the ceiling value, and I feel like you're going to get a higher ceiling with a wide receiver or potentially like a Laporta or a Travis Kelce as well, over a running back, just because how else are you going to get like a 40-point game unless you have like unless you have a running back that's going in 3 times. I feel like you're going to have just more of a ceiling with an actual receiver at that point, just with the with the format. Again, if it was standard, but I see where you're going at with that. I love Tyreek Hill at 3 there. Olave, he's definitely going to be a focal point as well. I could see where maybe he was thinking like Montgomery kind of earlier last year, where there's so much hype on Gibbs, but earlier in the year you're going to get Montgomery, and then maybe kind of towards the playoffs you're going to see more of a shift to Gibbs. So I could see where maybe he was kind of going with that, and then making sure that he's got some safety with his running backs as well. But I think it's pretty balanced. Again, I like that Tua pick was huge right there. I thought that was a really big play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So JonTron went receiver / tight end very heavily early. Didn't draft a running back until round 6. So let's see how this team looks. So he went Lamb, Adams, Moore, and Cooper as his receivers. I say the only thing I don't like there is Adams and Cooper are on the old side, but given that Amari Cooper is one of those receivers who runs terrific routes, I think that's okay. I still think he's going to be really good. Adams showed no signs of slowing down. So like this receiving core could be awesome. I'm just saying that there's a little bit of downside, but I do love Sam Laporta. And then Prescott around 7 is fine. And then let's look at his running backs as he waited. So he is Singletary, Javonte Williams, Zach Moss, Gus Edwards. I don't like somebody like Gus Edwards. I think sucks. Like he just has gotten so many opportunities and he just hasn't done anything with them. Javonte Williams is someone who, Cecil Lammey, one of the top team reporters, said that he's on the roster bubble, but maybe he's traded. Maybe he goes to Dallas and like suddenly this pick looks great. So Singletary's okay. I don't know if I'd like anyone on the Giants except for Neighbors. I think this team's gonna be awful. Singletary is going to get opportunities. I don't want running backs on bad teams. I think that's just a bad recipe. Zach Moss is he's going to get goal line touches, I suppose. Trevor Lawrence here in 12th round. I think that's okay. Kendra Miller, I think, has some upside. I don't know about double kicker. I don't know if that was a mistake, but I wouldn't recommend double kicker. But what are your thoughts here on this team from JonTron?
I mean, because I'm so focused on drafting wide receiver or a receiver early, I love this team, except for of course, you're going to have a trade-off where if you're going for your premium at receiver, where's your downfall? Your downfall is going to be your running back. But I think actually, like, if you look at this team and you play it week 1, you're probably your running backs might actually be Moss and Gus over the rest, just because, like you mentioned with Devin Singletary, he's you don't like running backs on bad teams. Javonte Williams, he's got that he's from, maybe it's still stuck in my head, but it kind of reminds me that he had that ankle injury. Was it ankle or knee? It was ACL and MCL. Was that what it was?
It was. Oh, I know it was an ACL at least. I don't know what else.
Okay, because I thought it was like almost the exact same injury that Carson Wentz had, and that when I think about that and I see how the downfall with Carson Wentz was with him not being mobile, it gives me a huge pause with Javonte Williams, like just with the longevity of himself. So that's just my opinion, but I really like his receivers here, especially with the 1-2-3 punch. Who knows? Maybe Devontae Adams does get traded to the Jets. I mean, it was a rumor. Who knows? It could happen. So he's going from a kind of a crappier offense to a better offense to someone that he knows. So that could be a 1-2 punch at that point. And then I really loved Sam Laporta this year. Really, really do.
Yeah, me too. I think he could definitely be the tight end 1. Gig 6's team. I was looking at this. I don't like a lot of these players that he took. Obviously not. I mean, St. Brown's fantastic, but then you get after that, like Derrick Henry just was getting 10 to 12 carries a lot last year, and he's not a receiving back. Kenneth Walker is behind an offensive line that lost 3 starters this year. Brandon Ayuk could be traded. What if he goes to New England? Like that's going to be terrible. Lamar Jackson hasn't finished 2 out of the past 3 years. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to regress this year with the offensive linemen. 3 of them departing this offseason. Stevenson running back on the bad team, so no thanks. Zamir White, I think could be okay. And Hopkins is injured and is old. Jackson and Jigba, I think Seattle's going to really regress this year. I like Njoku, but then you have Romeo Doubs. I'd rather have some of the other Packer receivers. Cooks, I feel like he's just not good. And then Hunter Henry, that's his second tight end. I feel like Hunter Henry had a lot of touchdowns last year. That's going to regress. I like it's going to regress to the mean. So I really don't like this team at all. What do you think about it?
I can kind of see what he's doing. I don't like the Ayuk play because just with the uncertainty, and if he does go to the Steelers, I hate that. Absolutely hate that because it's got. I will give. Why am I blanking on his name? Not Russ, but
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. I will give Justin Fields the benefit of the doubt. I think he is the better quarterback over Russ. I think Russ is done. But we also haven't seen his potential. Maybe he was also on a team that they just really didn't care for him. So maybe it will work out for Ayuk if he does go over to the Steelers. But I mean, I'm on Ross St. Brown. He's a smash play. I'll give Derrick Henry the benefit of the doubt. Yes, he's old, but he's on a team that they're rush focused, so it makes sense. Either they're going to give the ball to Lamar, or they're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry. It makes a whole lot of sense, kind of like what they did at Tennessee. Just feed the ball to him. So I get what they're doing with that. Kenneth Walker, we'll see what happens with Geno Smith. I saw that he was hurt, came back, but I don't really have the high hopes of Seattle, like when Geno had his kind of comeback or when he had his huge year. So they may be run focused again, kind of like how they were in the past. But again, I kind of like the Derrick Henry and the Lamar Jackson plays at both. But then they might be eating at each other a little bit. So I get it. DeAndre Hopkins, he's hurt. Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, kind of a fringe play, but I guess but you do have to have some backup. So. I mean, it's an okay draft. I wouldn't be very happy with it, to be honest, but that's just the way I play.
Something I just noticed, you have Henry Baltimore and you have Lamar Jackson Baltimore. You don't want quarterback running back stack unless that running back is going to catch a ton of passes. Like Nuggets had Gibbs and Jared Goff. I think that's perfectly fine because Gibbs is a major receiver in that offense, but Henry obviously is not, so that's something you want to avoid. Team number 7, Skew, or it should be Slew. He went with the hero running back strategy, which is where you take one running back early and wait later. So he took Bijan Robinson, which is it's a great option there, and then he went Puka Nacua and Samuel and Pickens as his 3 receivers. I like these 2, especially with the Ayuk trade rumors. Pickens, I'm not sure about it. I can make a case for him. Given that Deontay Johnson's gone, but at the same time, as you said, Russell Wilson, he's cooked at this point in his career. But he does have Sue has a lot of upside here with Mahomes and Andrews. I know this Elliott pick was a mistake, wasn't meant to be. But then his other running backs were Brian Robinson, Charbonnet, not too high on Charbonnet. Benson I like here, 11th round, it's a good pick. Other receivers, Shakir, Mooney. He took a shot with Hawkinson around 12. Who could give him some upside later in the season. So all in all, I think it's a good draft, minus this Elliott pick, which I don't know what Slew wanted there. Maybe he can tell us. But that was, I wouldn't take Elliott. But otherwise, this looks like a good team. What do you think?
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest.
Okay, why not?
Well, I don't like the reason why I'm actually really low on the 49ers, and I'm going to kind of go back. I saw some comments from Dylan as well about his team. I'm actually really cautious of McCaffrey this year because I do kind of believe in the Madden curse, and I would be very scared if at random that I would have the number 1 pick because it's like of course you're picking McCaffrey, but who knows? Maybe week one he's good. Maybe week one he gets hurt, and it's like, well, crap, now I'm done. So it's a big pause for concern. I don't think I think Purdy regresses. So, and I mean, if Ayuk does get traded, okay, Debo has shown that he's not. Yes, Debo is a good receiver, but I mean, can he be just a focal point with when I personally believe that Purdy is gonna regress? I'd be scared. I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical of the 49ers this year, so I'm kind of shying away from them. Puka Nacua, we'll see what happens with his injury. I understand Bijan Robinson. I think he definitely turns it around this year. I think he's on a better track to excel. Patrick Mahomes, that's an obvious play. So with same with Mark Andrews, but I mean, I get the Ezekiel Elliott was a mistake, but there's other plays in here where I just don't like. I'm not a big fan of the Trey Benson or Zach Charbonnet or even Brian Robinson. It was just, I felt like there's other options that maybe you could have played out there. Maybe like if someone goes down, it may be a dump. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Johnson's more wear and tear on the body with McCaffrey than Manicurse. Yeah, I think so as well. He had so many touches last year and throughout the years, and he's getting older. So, well, we're all getting older, but he's approaching the age in which running backs kind of fall off. So, yeah, I'd be scared with taking McCaffrey number one. If I had the top pick, I don't know if I'd take him. I think I'd go another route. Even though I have him number one in my rankings, but I might change that. I've been thinking about it.
If I had the number one pick, I'd pick Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill, really? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. Johnson's Purdy McCaffrey won me the league last year. Oh yeah, I mean you could stack quarterback, running back. If the running back catches a lot, it's just the running backs don't catch a lot, like Derrick Henry. Like that's just a bad move.
Actually, I take that back with Tyreek. Until we get a contract for CD, it'd be Tyreek. If we get a contract with CD, which it should happen, I really think it's 1A, 1B. It's flip a coin between the two, but
okay. That
would be my first two choices.
Okay. All right. So team 8, Kid No Name. He alternated running back and receiver here. He went Chase, Harrison, Kirk, and Deontay in the odd rounds. Then he went ATN, Mixon, Harris, and Chase Brown in the even rounds. Then he took Kyler Murray. He's kind of broke that streak here with Kyler Murray in the 9th round, and then he continued with Samuel and Dowdle. I think these guys have upside as does Wicks. I think Cole Kmet was a steal in the 12th round. Kind of shows that you can wait on tight end if you don't get some of the top guys. As these guys, these picks specifically, I like Christian Kirk a lot this year. I think I would have taken him at 5'11" had he fallen to me. Instead, Kid No Name took him 5'08", so I like the pick a lot. I think Mixon was one of the top players on my board. I remember if I didn't already have two running backs, I think I would have taken Mixon there at 402. So I like that pick as well. Harrison's been going in the 2nd round, so 3rd round here is it's a good value. And then ETN is someone who, if Jacobs was also gone at 202, I think I would have considered ETN. So I like this team overall. Deontay Johnson here, 7th round. I think this could be a steal. Like he could be this year's. Remember that you were talking about Adam Thielen last year catching all those passes. It could be Deontay Johnson this year. He's just a much better version of Thielen right now.
I honestly forgot he was there.
Okay, yeah. So I think he could be the guy who gets targeted a lot there. So and in PPR 7th round, I think that is a steal. As Chase Brown could be as well. But so yeah, I like this team. What do you think about it?
I like this a lot. This was a very smart draft. I thought this was very, very done very, very well. Chase was, I think Chase was definitely the right pick at that point. ETN, he's definitely got a higher ceiling, I think, this year. And Marvin Harris Jr., I think that's a great pick. I think he can mask what Jamar Chase did his rookie year too. So I mean, there's a lot of upside on this team. Except I don't really like Mixon that high. I mean, I wasn't really impressed with him with the Bengals. I think he's kind of going through a little bit of a regression. So I think that was maybe a little bit too high. I'm also not a big fan of Najee Harris, but I also understand why If you're kind of flowing through and just trying to be smart drafting, I get it. But overall, I think it's just a smart draft. I actually like the Curtis Samuel pick right there. I was going to go for him as well, just because who else are they going to throw to on that offense? So no, I really like this draft.
Yeah, Joey says it's being reported that the Browns and Patriots have deals in place for Ayuk. Who will the 49ers choose? I imagine Ayuk is hoping Cleveland, who wants to play in that New England team. Matthias says CD is going to tear his ACL. It's a bold prediction. We'll see. Ty says you can't take Hill. Pick one in a 12-man. Look at the trash running backs there at the turn. You'll reach for a running back or get stuck with zero running back. I like Pacheco. And if you're a fan of Achane or James Cook, you can argue that. But
you could play Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara was there. Rashad White in PPR is good.
Derrick Henry might have been too high.
Yeah, I agree. Chris says, I thought about mixing a 401, but you had taken Diggs after you had already taken Diggs, but you sniped Waddle. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, I like Waddle this year, and then Diggs was 7 rounds too high. Ty says, taking Kamara over London, a lot of it goes wrong. What'd you say?
Aaron Jones, I thought, was really low in this draft too. So
Aaron Jones, yeah. We'll get to that. So Team 9, Ja. So a lot of picks I don't like here. I mean, Saquon Barkley is great, but after that, you get to Cooper Kupp. I think very questionable in the second round. I'm not buying the Puka Nakua's injuries that serious. It seems like a knee bruise, which should be fine by week 1. Now, if Puka Nakua is actually hurt, then this makes sense, but I don't know. Kupp's 31. I don't know. Rashad White's fine. Metcalf, I think Seattle's really going to fall off this year. I don't know if I want anyone in Seattle, especially given that they're going to have severe offensive line injuries or severe offensive line issues, given that they lost 3 offensive linemen this offseason. Swift, he's going to be hurt by week 4. Ridley is a tight end receiver 1 with Will Levis, and I don't like that at all. He took 3 tight ends here. This might have been auto draft at this point. He took Pitts, Ferguson, Frymouth. Actually, probably not even worth discussing the team because I think it's auto draft. But any thoughts here? I feel like we don't need to spend too much time on this one.
I don't think it was auto drafted completely, because I understand the values with the tight end there. Maybe he wants to play. Maybe he's just comfortable with the core of his draft and just wants to play around, or just maybe he had kind of hopes that he was just always going to play 2 tight ends. So I could see that too. But I'm not very high on Saquon Barkley this year, just because we've kind of seen the offense of Philly. It's going to be who's going to be running it in on the end zone, Jalen Hurts, or he's going to be throwing it. So I feel like that kind of breaks down, that kind of lowers the ceiling a little bit on Barkley. Plus, he's been injury prone. I like Cooper Kupp a lot if Puka Nacua actually has a pretty significant injury. And I think saw something where his average receiving is just ridiculous as well as Cooper Kupp. So I mean, if Puka Nacua is hurt, Kupp is kind of a smash play. Rashad White, I thought that was a fair value as well for running back, kind of coming back as well. DK Metcalf, I mean, he could be kind of just the one focal point of the team. I mean, it could be DK Metcalf, and then it could also be Kenneth Walker, and then just enough where, I wouldn't pick Geno Smith, but I think it would be just enough, in a PPR, he's going to get targets. Burrow, my take on Burrow is that people said in golf when Brooks bleached his hair, watch out for Brooks, and that didn't really work out. So I have that kind of same feeling with Joe Burrow. I'm like, why? Are you trying to do the as you used to have the haircuts of Tom Brady? Maybe it's going to be the hairstyles of Joe Burrow now.
The adventures of Tom Brady's haircuts. Yes.
Yep. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Again, it's just sure he's good, but is he going to live up to the potential that he bleached his hair? I guess we'll see. So DeAndre Swift, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. He's going to get hurt by week 4. I don't know. I think he's just past his prime. But I think the 3 tight end options was actually fine because I mean they're all playmakers. I think maybe he was a little bit leery on Kyle Pitts and it was like, well, just need to have some insurance in case he sucks. So it's like, okay, then I have Jake Ferguson and Pat Freiermuth. So I get that. But the rest of it, yeah, the rest of it does kind of seem like an auto draft after Freiermuth.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Ty asking, is this not PPR? No, it is full PPR. Joey says Kamara's a sleeper this year. He'll have a monster year with Clint Kubiak as OC with zone reads and not Pete Carmichael running him up the middle every play. Yeah, it is definitely an upgrade at OC for sure. I like Kamara, in a vacuum, but the problem with him is that, well, it's twofold. One, I just don't trust Dennis Allen. I think the Saints are going to disappoint, although they do have an easier schedule. And second, he just has never. It's been a long time since he's played a full season. I think it was like his rookie year. Maybe he played a full season, and he hasn't done that ever since. Like he misses like 3-4 games here and there. He tends to get banged up. Now maybe that changes. I cite this all the time. Like Fred Taylor, his nickname used to be Fragile Fred because he used to always miss time, and then he had like a 3-year span where he never got hurt. So that could change for sure. So. It just based on the history, it's hard to trust them to play a full year. But when you're talking end of third round, I think that's it's pretty good value. I think. And so Chris says, yeah, John, I immediately regretted the Diggs pick. A good value out of the smock. I imagine former receiver ones on the third team have a fairly dubious track record as well, at least for fantasy production. And Kamara was one of the dozen things that cost me one of my title games last year. Yeah, he was on fire for a while, but yeah. All right, let's get to Germ, Team 10. He went double receiver to start with Jefferson. Wilson sniped me. I've wondered Jefferson a lot at 111, but he took him at 110. That's a fantastic pick. We talked about Kamara already. James Conner, I like quite a bit, especially PPR. He was great down the stretch last year. However, you have to worry about this year. He had Conner and Trey McBride. I don't like that. There's a conflict there. Whenever Connor scores a touchdown, this touchdown McBride is not going to get. So I don't try not to do that. Godwin I like this year coming out of the slot. Richardson I think is going to be fantastic if he can stay healthy. It's a big if. So he took 2 other quarterbacks as insurance, Purdy and Herbert. Although Herbert's injured, so I don't know what sort of insurance this is. I feel like this could have been a different pick. And Lockett as well. I think I don't like this at all. I don't think there's any upside with Lockett. But there is upside with Keon Coleman, McConkey. Jerome Ford is probably going to be the starter for most of the year. So, I think this team's pretty good. Overall, I like this team quite a bit. I would change a couple things late here, around 12, 13. I think you need to take better sleepers, but there's a chance that Jerm may have been knocked off by then anyway. You don't want 3 quarterbacks. So, yeah, I think from like rounds 1 to 11, I like it, and then kind of falls off. But, what are you going to do? So, what do you like about Jerm's team here?
Yeah, I really like how this started out with it just bombs all throughout. I do agree with you what you said too about James Conner and Trey McBride. I don't understand why. I think Trey McBride could have been something else. Like if I'm looking through here, this goes this way. So yeah, maybe he was just playing the best available. I may have picked Ingram over McBride if you really wanted a tight end at that point. However, just the first 4 picks were that was great. That was a great. I think if you're sitting at 9 or 10, that's a really, really strong draft. And then Anthony Richardson, if he can stay healthy and he's already shown that he can just kind of ball out, I mean, I'd be scared of this team.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit. All right, yeah. So let's get to the final team, which is the B day. A equals D for Walt. So yeah, thank you, Chris.
It's officially your birthday now, by the way.
It is. I am officially 42 years old. Thank you. Yeah, it's an old age. Actually, I actually got carded at CVS. Well, it's for stupid. cough medicine. And the girl behind the counter was like, I just have to see you for 21. I'm like, well, I'm double that age actually tomorrow. So 42 feels cool. All right, so let's look at Chris's team here. He started the Taylor and Brown. He sniped me here with Brown. I love Taylor as well. So a great start there. I know John was anti-Diggs pick here. I think it was a fine choice. Aaron Jones I like as well. George, if Ayuk is not traded, I don't like this pick, but if he is, then this is going to look a lot better. George Kittle here, down around 5. So we'll see. It sounds like he will be traded. T. Higgins is solid value around 6. I was debating between Pollard and Spears. I think I was going to take Spears at 802. So this is another situation where Chris sniped me. It's good. It was a good pick. I like Spears better than Pollard in PPR. I like Pollard better in standard. But yeah, so it's PPR. So yeah, I like the Spears pick. So Jordan, no cookie Jordan Love here. I think I would have considered him had he gotten back to me. So I thought that was a good selection. Addison, we'll see with the suspension. Myers, always decent PPR. McLaughlin could be the starting running back, but then you have to worry about the upside. Running backs and bad teams I'm not a big fan of. But again, you might be getting the starting running back on a team in round 11, so it's like there's nothing wrong with that. And Cale Williams is I think I would have considered him at 1202 just because I had Keenan Allen. I think I would have tried to stack him. And then Roschon Johnson, last pick, he could be the starting running back for the Bears come November when Swift goes down and if they trade Khalil Herbert. Like it could just be Roschon Johnson's backfield. This could be the steal of the draft, really. I would recommend trying to get Roschon Johnson late, just because Swift has such bad durability and Herbert could be traded. So yeah, I like this team. Good job, Chris. I'm a big fan. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this team as well. Except I'm not big on Stephon Diggs. I actually think he's wide receiver 3 on that team. I just don't think he's mentally there. I think I think he's more talk than anything. I mean, you saw him when he played against when the Packers came to Buffalo, and he was just all talk to them when they ran out, and he just did nothing. So I don't know. I think I think there's other better playmakers than himself. Honestly, if you're looking at this draft here, if I were him, I would actually pick Pittman over Diggs. I know you were pretty high on Diggs, but I would pick Pittman over him. But if you would have made that switch, I really love this team. Up until about, I think Jordan Addison might have been kind of a reach. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I'm not a big. Yes, I'm a Packer fan, but I just don't know about the offense other than Aaron Jones for the Vikings right now. Just because, I mean, unless if Hawkinson comes back and he's fully healthy, I would be pretty worried about that team. But I just don't like the quarterback situation at the Vikings. But then again, I'm also a Packer fan that also could see the Packers be 4th place in their own division. So I could easily see that as well. So I get the Jordan Love play, but then I also can see him just busting this year. He got paid, and maybe he just doesn't show up to the hype. Who knows? But the rest of the team, I'm down for it.
Chris is asking us to analyze his kicker pick. So yeah, Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker was right. We lost that apron. I was selling that apron on the merch store, and they took it away from us. I don't know why. I'm going to try to do it again. It could be the case that they just stopped selling aprons. To be fair, but we'll see. Because I feel like we have way more offensive stuff than that. But I did like Antonio Brown's tweet about that. He's like, Butker is probably celebrating with his wife making him a sandwich or something. I forget what he said. It was something like that. So I thought that was pretty funny. Chris saying, entering into the gun years, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Chris. And then Red Lab says Swift is going down at some point this year, 100%. Yeah, for sure. It's going to happen. All right, so and we one more. John says his wife is going to get the most expensive apron in the world.
Can you do a Butker bunt cake?
The bun cake.
Like a
That'd
bun
be
cake can.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Slew with 333 super chat. Thank you so much, Slew. Happy B-Day. My parents married on this day, 1944. Wow, that's awesome.
Anniversary.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I feel like I think my grandparents probably were married at this point. My grandpa was well, no, I don't know if it would have been after World War II, but my grandpa would have been 22. In 44. He always told me, like, I'll never forget this. He told me, like, he's like, for some reason, I was like, when I was a kid, when I was like 6, he was like, 1945 is the best year of my life. And he told me, like, the war ended because he fought in the war. And I don't know. He may have met my grandma that year, but yeah, it was pretty close. So yeah, thank you so much, Lou. Really appreciate it, and thank you for everyone for joining us at this mock draft. We're gonna do one tomorrow. We're gonna have another guest tomorrow. We're gonna do one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for sure, and then this week we're gonna do one Thursday because there's only 2 games on Thursday. They're both at 7:00. So once I'm done watching both games, probably be like 11. It'll probably be like a later draft like we did last Thursday, probably like 11, 11:30. But most of the drafts will start like around 10:30 to 11. So yeah, we'll be drafting all week, Monday through Thursday, unless there are a lot of Thursday games. I haven't looked at the rest of the preseason schedule, but this week is for sure. Thursdays. Okay. All right, Butters, thanks for joining me as well. Thanks to Nuggets who had a sign off. But Butters, you want to plug anything?
If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is Butters326DFS. And then that's about it.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, once again, guys, thank you so much. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. We'll be back tomorrow doing standard drafting. So yeah, join us there. And once again, thank you to Sue for the 333 super chat. All right, guys, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.